Hello, welcome to Hope Ready. I'm your host, Dr. Ellen. We've been doing this pandemic life for just over a year now, and I'm guessing that some people feel the same way I do. So tired of the pandemic life. I've invited KJ Boyd, who's a counselor at our Counseling and Psychological Services office, to join us today to give us some advice on how to cope and maybe restore a bit as we move through this pandemic. Welcome, KJ.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Hey, so here's my first question. Some of us are pretty tired of the pandemic life. What do you suggest we can do to just feel a sense of restoration?
Yeah, I think that's a very real feeling. I've been hearing that from a lot of students as well and staff. I think it's just there's a collective sort of weariness that everybody's experiencing because of everything we've sort of had to limit and all the feelings that we've had around the pandemic. An interesting thing sort of happens, I think, when we're not doing well, where we just sort of have this tendency to be like, well, screw it, we're just gonna, eat like junk food and stay up late and pull all-nighters. And when we're off balance and we're not doing well, it's time to double down on the things that we know are gonna make us feel better. And foundationally, a couple of those things are obvious, right? So we got to prioritize getting the sleep. That's how we love our brains. That's how we replenish our brain. And we got to get the regular nutrition. We got to nourish our body with fuel. That's how we give our bodies energy. So foundationally, that's just like the hierarchy of needs. We got to have those things to feel well.
That is awesome and helpful. Like, let's sleep and eat properly. I think we all can try to do that a little bit better. If there's if you could name like one or two things that could help us cope each day that we could add into our lives, what would you suggest?
Well, I have a couple concrete skills. Is it okay if I go over?
Yeah,
okay. Awesome. Okay. I actually have three. So one is a coping strategy. First of all, just to go back a minute, like I think anything that puts you in the present moment is going to help you sort of feel replenished. And that's going to look different for an extrovert. It's going to look different for an introvert. It's going to look different for it. It's about sort of slowing down and figuring out what fills you up and then making sure you're doing those things. That might be exercise. That might be prayer, that might be playing music, that might be being with friends, it might be just crashing on the couch for a hot second. But as far as coping strategies, I have a few that are sort of concrete strategies that I think can be really helpful. We all need to take breaks. So taking little, I call them like mini vacations, is really important. I think it's helpful to think about having sort of a timeline for these. But thinking about little things, I think changing your environment can be really helpful. So walking downtown and looking at pretty things, like that's actually coping. Like it's using distraction to just get out of your mind for a minute. Get out of your sort of, get off the hamster wheel for a second. I think it's helpful to sort of be able to slow down. I think it's so often we're worried about the future, which is anxiety, or we're perseverating about things we did in the past that can cause depression. So doing things that put us in the present moment can be really helpful. So watching Netflix or social media is fine, as long as you're not doing that thing where it's like you all of a sudden you've gone down that rabbit hole of 2 hours. Yep. I was showing my husband TikTok the other day, and he was like, I feel like I've lost my ability to turn off and to look away. And I was like, it's designed to do that. And it's so much fun to look at cat videos, but like at a certain point, it's been like 2 hours and you're like, wait a minute, I got work to do. So, set a time limit, visit a friend, grab coffee, do those things that are just like little mini vacations, then get back to your work and you're going to be more energized. One of my favorite skills is a skill called opposite action. So opposite action is just how it sounds. It's about doing the opposite of what we feel like doing, which is actually really hard to do. So for instance, the other day I was feeling really sad. There's all these hate crimes and mass shootings, and I just was feeling the weight of the world. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to get off the couch. And I know what works for me is to go take a walk with my dog or to go for a run. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I did all the mental gymnastics and all the resisting. And then finally I got out the door, and guess what? I felt better. So if you're feeling like not going outside, moving your body, the opposite thing is to move your body. If you're avoiding doing your work, generally what's going to make you feel better is doing your work. So, it's like choose your heart. It's hard to avoid work. That creates a lot of tension. It's also hard to get down and get to it. I get that. If you are feeling angry at somebody, do something kind for somebody. If you are feeling like you're in a place of shame, it's good to process feelings with somebody you feel safe with. So this isn't about avoiding feelings. It's about challenging the feeling. And I think that can be really helpful.
Yeah.
You want one more?
Sure. One more. Yes.
Okay. So the last skill is a skill that's just about sort of physiology. It's just about changing your emotion and doing it quick. So if you are feeling panic, if you're feeling really stuck, the way to change that and do it fast is to use physiology. So basically, intense exercise, using breathing exercises. So it's not really important which one you use, but it's helpful to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, breathe in shorter than you breathe out.
Yeah.
You can look up a million different ones. Changing your environment can help, and sometimes using cold water, like cold water on your face, taking a cold shower. Those things can change your mood and do it quickly. If you're starting to feel really ramped up and you want to change your mood fast, if you're feeling really stuck, like you can't get out of your head, those things you're using biology to sort of shift how you're feeling.
Those are awesome. Mini vacation, opposite action, or quickly change your physiological state. I love those. I might be practicing some of those today. Thank you for that. Hey, if someone is feeling like so weary or anxious or just totally stressed out, who should they talk to or where should they go for help?
One thing I love about being on Hope's campus is I feel like we have such great resources. So obviously CAPS is a resource. It took a long time to get an appointment. Now students are getting in 1 or 2 days. So that's a really great resource. After hours, we have this new resource where you can talk to a master's level clinician anytime. And the way to access that resource is just to call the CAPS number, and it'll take you through the prompts. So 24/7, you should have access to somebody through CAPS if you're needing support. Academic Success Center obviously is a great source of support. Your RA and the Student Life team, Center for Diversity and Inclusion, Boerrichter Health Center.
Yep.
What am I missing? Campus
so many
Ministries.
Places. Yep.
Campus Ministries is a great place to get some extra support.
Thank you so much, KJ. We just all need to take a minute to be present, right? And tend to what our bodies are needing in this pandemic life. And I think with the suggestions you made today, we are going to be able to remain hope ready. Thanks so much.